Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. I am your host, Corey. Joining me today and all days, my brother, Marcus. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up, dude? How are you, man?
I don't know. It's been so long. I don't even know who I am anymore. I have lost all sense of awareness and self-worth. And no, it's been a while, man. It's been almost a month and a half.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think
Whose fault
it's
is
just,
it? For the audience, whose fault is it?
I don't think it's either one of our fault,
I don't think it
honestly.
is either. I was really just putting you on the spot. No, I don't think
Well,
it's
let's say
anybody's
like
fault.
this is about to be like I'm surprised to me as well. I feel like,
It's a gotcha
eh,
moment, baby.
yeah, exactly. That's why we're doing this, but just so you can just rub it in my face.
And this is the last
No,
podcast. Joan, gotcha. Don't it hurt you?
yeah, that just went right over my head. I don't even know what that's from.
That's from Parks and Rec.
Oh, well,
My
I missed
goodness.
that one. Okay. Oh, I saw that, but I don't remember that. Yeah, no, it's been a while, man. I mean, obviously we had stuff come up. We had some family uh
Gatherings, yeah. We went to Galveston with our families, and honestly, just life gets busy. Life gets hectic. Things happen. Like it's pretty understandable, you know. Like this is a fun project that we're doing, and if sometimes when you're doing things for fun, like you just don't get to do the things that are fun sometimes, you know. Like real life comes up.
That's pretty depressing, man. You just don't get through the fun thing. Like, geez, man, we're like 1 minute in and you're just like,
That's
oh, people are
reality. That's reality, though. Sometimes you don't get to do the fun things. Like that's just how life is. Sometimes you don't get to do the fun things.
yeah. Well, honestly, I think that's part of it, right? But I do think that I mean, clearly in the intro, right? You didn't lead with the other brother. I
Um,
already forgot what it
oh,
was called, man. What was it called?
you're just deleting our presence. The other Disney Brothers podcast, which obviously that is a factor of the absence, is that we both. I guess we. It's hard. It's one way to say is we both kind of hit a wall with it in the sense that we realize that there's so much more that we'd like to talk about to each other with like our saying fans sounds like the most delusional thing in the world.
Yeah. Hey, make it till you make it. I've learned that. That's half of what Instagram is just pretending like you're somebody that you're not, until everyone else believes that you are. But no, I mean, I think that's what it is, man. I mean, not that we weren't enjoying what we were doing, not that like we couldn't have continued to do what we were doing.
I blame
I
Olivia.
think yeah, she just totally derailed this
Yeah,
show,
we were like,
man.
you know what? It's done. It's like one bad. It's like when they brought in Will Ferrell to the office, and they're like, just kill it, just put it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
No,
for me it was the Animal Kingdom like half a day part like
that
comment that
feud,
just
that feud
yeah.
is. You're like, I'm done. I actually don't even want to go to Disney World anymore. I'm done with it.
No, but for real though, I think the goal for us is to like I would like to do something that's sustainable. And we both enjoy Disney. That was the original goal. But then I think that we realized that, there's a lot of talk in chat that we have offline that we would love to bring on here, like bring online to this pod just because I feel like it's one, I think it's easier to listen to. Like I think the feedback that I got from the people that I talked to, like one of the better episodes that we've recorded was really the first one when it was less about maybe Disney and more about just our dynamic, right?
Yeah, us.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and so which I appreciate, right? I mean, I think the other episodes, and there was anything wrong with them, but I think we were trying to be a Disney podcast, which again, nothing wrong with that, but it's just a bigger space, and I don't know, it's just not natural for us to just sit there. I don't know. I'd rather have genuine conversations and talk about other things that we'll still talk about Disney because obviously I'm very
Eh,
much about Disney, and so are you.
Well, like
Um,
I'm wearing my Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party sweater. Like the podcast may not be Disney specific going forward, but the issue is like we were talking about the other day, like on the phone, which is hard to even have phone conversations now because like everything becomes like save this for the pod. But it's one of those
yeah.
things where you end up in a situation where you want to have a conversation about a topic, but you don't like if you're doing a a podcast dedicated to a specific subject, you
Right.
feel like you have to almost tie everything back to it. Like,
Hmm.
oh, I want to talk about mental health. How do we associate this back into Disney World? Like,
Yeah.
I've
Well,
been
I think
having
you
a
can.
I mean, you can. Yeah, you can, but it's one of those things where it kind of feels forced at times, you know? Like it's good to be able to have a conversation about a topic that you enjoy, that you like are passionate about, that I don't know, that's relevant to what's going on either in the world or like in our own lives that is
Hmm.
not like Disney adjacent, you know?
Yeah, right.
Which
No, I'm
which
with you.
and I feel like it's good for us to have that outlet. Which I mean, I'm sure some people will be like, "Oh, I only wanted a Disney podcast." And if that's the case, I'm sorry. Um, at the same time, like I feel like Marcus and I are that sounds even worse than saying fans. But it's one of those things where like I feel like if you're still listening at this point, I think it's more about us than it is about Disney, you know? Like
Right. Yeah, definitely. I
the
think
vibes are the same.
that's right. The V words. Just a bunch of V words up in here. I wish. Okay, dude. Like seriously, like stop, please don't do that dance. Like but no, yeah, you're right, man. I mean, the goal is for this to be like enjoyable, and I think that, in my opinion, it will be a much more enjoyable podcast if we're just talking about normal stuff. So yeah. Well, what
Yeah.
you been up to, man? What you been up to? I mean, obviously, we haven't really talked on the phone all that much. Like you said, maybe because we were worried that we're gonna steal content and not have anything to say when we
Well,
push record.
I mean, also just life is going, man. Like, I mean, it's also like it is an element of like a lack of not motivation to do the podcast. I've wanted to do the podcast. I know you have too. It's just one of those things where like once something feels like it's work, especially when it's like something that's what I said, like a fun element. Like when it feels like you're working to come up with ideas of what to discuss. Like it's not some it loses the excitement of like, oh, let's talk about this. It becomes like, hey, like what do you feel like talking about on the podcast this week that pertains to like that's
Mm,
not organic, you know, and that feels like a chore. It feels like a labor. And
yeah.
that element gets into it and kind of seeps into it. And when you have like the stuff that I have going on, like just like mental health wise, just adding that one little barrier of like anxiety or like
Hmm.
it has the ability to just unravel me. Especially considering I mean I know now that we're no longer a Disney podcast, I can get super depressing. No, but I've had a really rough like month and a half, man. Just like mentally, just like it's just because I didn't go back to school this year for to be an aide, because I was a PE aide last year and most of the year before, and I love my job and I love the students I worked with. I love the people that I worked with, and like everybody gearing up to go back to school and knowing that I wouldn't be a part of that this year, it really like
Mm,
it messed me up mentally way more than I anticipated. Which it also has that element of like this is your choice, idiot. So
yeah.
it's like how do you like complain and vocalize like feeling bad about something when like essentially it was your choice to not go back and do that again, you know?
Yeah, that's tough, man. Because I know that you really did enjoy. I mean, you got a lot from it, right? I mean, I think anyone needs that sense of purpose. I think it's just I think we all need something like I mean, we all kind of struggle, and it's nice to have something to kind of give you that extra motivation to, not get through the day. That sounds
To get
extreme.
out of bed, to
Yeah.
wake up and put your clothes on. Like which realistically, that is a motivator. People underestimate the motivation of like being forced to get out of bed and put clothes on to leave the house. As
Mm,
someone who lived the life of someone who didn't have to leave the house pretty much ever for a very long time, like due to like mental health and physical health, like man, that was like the worst time of my life. Was just when you have nothing to do, you have nowhere to be. Like obviously like my mental health doesn't do particularly great with like the burden of responsibility. Like that weighs on me. And like I have to be here or everybody's gonna be mad at me or I'm gonna let everybody down. Like that stuff weighs
mm.
on me. But it doesn't compare to the feeling of it's all pretty pointless. Yesterday's the same as today. Tomorrow's the same as yesterday. And it just becomes a blur of just like the same thing, you know?
Yeah, which kind of sucks that this podcast kind of fell off kind of around that time. Like, I mean, I feel like we went to the beach shortly after. So, I mean, it just
The
kind of like,
hiatus couldn't have come at a worse time for my mental health.
yeah, it's, sorry, man, I'm not trying to laugh about it, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, we're talking about sense of purpose, and then the podcast just stopped for like 5 weeks. So, uh, yeah, man. Well, I'm glad that we're picking it back up because I hate that you're dealing with that. I do think that you'll find like I said, it's kind of a rough patch right now, but I think a lot of, like you said, it was something, it was like who you were last year. And I would say that you kind of went above and beyond, man. Like what was it expected of you? And yeah, so I totally understand what you're going through, but I'm glad that we have this again, and hopefully we'll have a little more of a routine, now that hopefully it's not as like not as much of a burden, but not as like maybe as hard to kind of figure out a way to work Disney into the competition we have. Maybe it'll become a little bit easier and give us a little more creative control when it comes to making a pod.
Yeah, and also now it just becomes a conversation between us. It's not a conversation focused on a specific topic that we just either like have to figure out. It's something that just we get on here and we talk, and it's kind of more organic. And obviously we'll have structure and elements of like things we'd like to discuss with one of each other. But
Hmm.
primarily it's just kind of getting together and talking, and I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, we'll say so. The first episode we did, I think you told me that you were struggling like mentally, and I think
That
I
was
kind
the
of just
second episode.
and I just like kind of went right over that, went right into maybe Muppet 3D Vision closing or something, probably.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I understand your life's pretty crappy, but have you heard what's happening to Muppet Vision right now?
but that being said, though, you didn't ask me how I've been. So, I mean,
I,
I guess
I
we're kind of even.
I honestly am so in my own head. No, I know how you're doing, buddy. It's one of those things where like I feel like it's a very human experience to kind of just go through stuff, and I don't know. I feel like it's understanding that what you're feeling is not inherently unique. You know what I'm saying? Like you're special, but not special at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the stuff that you deal with in your own head, like everybody's dealing with shades of it, right?
Yeah, which
And
I think is what's just beneficial to do these podcasts, man. Like, I've been on the Dads of Main Street and just listen to those guys talk. Like, just hearing somebody else talk about things that they deal with. I'm not saying that I'm like against therapy, right? But like, it's not something that I've ever really like, been like a huge. I don't know. I don't know what the correct way to say it. Maybe you can help me figure out. But the point that I'm trying to make, though, like I've always heard people like you got to work through it, you got to talk about it, and I've never really understood like like what that means, right? Maybe because I've been fortunate to not deal with it as much for me, but like just hearing other people talk about it, and it's just kind of opened my eyes to like how productive that can be, right? And so I think it's important. Like I wish I don't know. I guess I've just for me I've come to appreciate that whole space much more. And just like the conversations that happen because I just feel like it's necessary. And so I don't know, man. I guess maybe because people are just being a lot more open about it, right? And I think maybe because of that, it's like opening my eyes as well, right? For someone who maybe isn't trying to be naive or trying to be rude, just maybe just wasn't educated, I guess.
I feel like that's a lot of human growth in general, though, man. I feel like and I honestly think that people having the mindset of being like, "Hey, I didn't understand this," and even at some points I might have talked against it or like joked about it being like silly, or I mean there's stuff that I've said in my life that I obviously was speaking out of a very like ignorant place, or like speaking out of a place that had no exposure to something or no understanding of like the context or any of these other things. And you're just saying stuff because it's what you were exposed to. It's like the normal in your life, where
Hmm.
but I feel like just that you are like learning to, because it's one of those things where we grew up in a generation which sounds like makes me sound ancient, but like because I'm 30, well, I'm 35, you're being 38 this year, right?
Right. Yep.
I'll be
38.
35 in October. So it's one of those things where like realistically, like we just children's therapy and like understanding of what like PTSD is as a general term, because like whenever we were growing up the concept of like PTSD was it was exclusively used for like combat veterans. It was like a thing that you only associated with like people who had been at war. But now
Right.
we understand that like PTSD is a term used for anybody who has survived any sort of trauma and is now like dealing with like the after effects of it. Yeah, the literal post. That's the post portion of trauma, PTSD, the post. But it's one of
Yeah.
those things where like we just have a better understanding of like just all that stuff and how important it is to like be open about it, you know, and be. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like the vulnerableness that we see in others, we're willing to show ourselves, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I think that's in our personality in general. I think we're just kind of like, I mean, we both wear our emotions on our sleeves. But yeah, no, like I said, I hate that you're in that place, man. I really do. Like, I'll be honest. I wish that I was better about like knowing what to say, right? Like I sometimes I feel like I'm like in like this tough spot because I want to help. To me, like I'm not saying like, oh, poor me, but it's hard like wanting to help and not knowing how to help, right? I'm not trying, oh, like let's
No,
just like flip this around and make me the victim.
you know
But
what?
you,
I am having the hardest time being able to explain to you how bad I feel about how bad you feel. All right, but no, I 100% agree with you, man. Like I 100% agree. Like it is a hard position to be in, to hear someone like going through something awful, and you genuinely feel awful for them, but ultimately, like, you can't do anything for someone. Like all you can do is be there. But at
right?
the same time, like, you can only be there for someone as much as they're willing to allow you to be there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, not the transition. But I'm going to transition. Well, because you didn't ask me how I was, and what I want to talk. Like, so obviously, school for us has started. I mean, you mentioned it. Like, I know that's something you're dealing with, but obviously, the kids are back to school or quit,
It's
or you know,
always about Marcus. It's always about Marcus. Older brother syndrome over here. All
dude.
right.
Actually, that's funny. I actually was looking up. I was looking up birth order stuff. We'll talk about that later. But no, yeah, school started for us. You know, Quinn's back in school, which I think it's challenging because this time of year. Like, I almost find it harder. Like, you know, obviously the end of the year, they're graduating the grade that they're in, but to me, it's always tougher come the beginning of the year because like one, like they're going into the new grade, and so you realize how much older they're getting. Obviously, our son this year, he's going to pre-K, so we're just like getting at that point, man, where it's just like I don't know, it's hard to believe. Kind of again, we're talking like we're ancient, but it's just like where has the time gone, man? It's just harder like getting to this point, like with your youngest, because it just I don't know, man. It's definitely bittersweet for sure. Like, cause
It
there's a
has a
lot of
sense
things
of
that.
finality almost to it. It has like a like I feel like it's The Office or something. It's like, this is the last time I'll do this. This is the last time I'll do that. Like it feels like once
Mm,
things start becoming like the last of a thing, it feels like, it
yeah,
just feels inherently like more sentimental, right?
dude,
Like,
I can that line from Andy in the office, like that
dude,
is like
all the time. That lives in my brain rent free. If only there was a way to know that you were living in the days when you were in them, right? It's like it goes.
the good old days, right?
The
Yeah,
yeah, the
no,
yeah.
let's transition to something more positive because I feel like we've hit on two big notes. I'm not saying we can't talk about this,
Well, I think that's an
but
important thing. Like, I'll admit, man, like, I have cried several times just looking at, like, cause Logan posted a video or a picture the other day that was like all of Quinn's like years out at her dance studio, like her on that bench. And I was talking to mom the other day, and I was like, man, it still feels like she is that same girl.
hmm
And it's such a weird thing to like vocalize and try to like put into words, like how much you appreciate who a person is and also miss the person they were. You know what I'm saying? Like I love I love the kid that Quinn is becoming. Like she is so amazing as a person and I love her to death. But it's also like, man, like I remember when she was that age, and like there was just a special moments in that, you know, and it was just. And obviously, I don't
right,
have kids of my own, so I live like, and it's all
hmm
very. It's honestly almost worse as an uncle. I will say this because it all happens from a distance.
time goes by fast when you're like. I mean, for me, I kind of get a little bit of that myself, though, man, because I travel. Like, that's the worst part about this job is like it's kind of like the sacrifice that I'm giving, right? Is I mean, I see my kids on FaceTime, but you know, I get to see them kind of like in weeks at a time. And so you like blink your eye and it's like, you know. So, yeah, man, it's life. It's just
And that's
tough.
why we haven't had a podcast in 5 weeks, because
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
lies,
life is
baby.
life. Well, so the goal of this podcast, I think, is to, I guess, kind of keep it fresh. You know, obviously, we kind of talked about this. Because again, I think what's good about a good podcast, there has to be like it has to be organic, right? It can't feel forced. It can't feel rehearsed. I think that's what's good about just conversations in general. So I don't have any idea what you want to talk about. You have any idea what I want to talk about? Um, so it should be interesting. It could be either a great show or this could be an absolute train wreck.
I don't think
Uh,
it'll be a train wreck. I think we're already off to a good start. But I do want to touch back on before we pivot up. What were you looking into birth order? Like, what were you saying? Because I know. Okay,
well,
so for context, Marcus, his family went on a family trip. Logan has a photography business, and their photography partner, they went on a trip. Marcus texted me at like, I want to say it was like
oh yeah,
11 in the morning, asking me to ask mom what time of day he was born. And immediately, like, I'm single, like, I know if anybody asks what time of day they're born, they're asking you for their astrological information. Because if a girl asks me what time I was born, I know it's immediately going in something to figure out like
really?
sign compatibility. Like, that is very much a thing.
Oh, dude. Okay, so that's like it's crazy you say that because that's exactly what it was for.
I know it was
Uh,
like I called it instantly. I was like, "This is astrology, right? Like this is like a compatibility, astro, like time
well,
of day, location, like where you are to the. It's
okay,
like relation to the
yeah,
sun."
right. Okay, so this is like honestly, I couldn't have planned it any better because this actually transitions into what I wanted to talk about. Um, but no, so it was about I guess that you punch in like the date of birth and where you're born, like what city you're born, right? You punch that in and you like reference. It's all on ChatGPT. And you give it the date and time, and it tells you like it gives you all these different like things about like yourself, right? I mean, and I'm not really like I am not a like horoscope. That's not my thing, right? I'm not trying to like crash on anyone who does that. That is not my thing.
We're not
But
yucking
dude,
your yums. If you're super
but
into that,
dude,
it's okay, but it's not
but
ours.
I'm telling you that it was bizarre how accurate it was, and like there was one, and it's all kind of full circle, honestly, because like at the same time, this trip that we were on, there was a comment that was made to me that really kind of shook me, honestly, because I was told that I think you have an addictive personality, and like it just like kind of just like I would say it got under my skin, but I just like really struggled with that because I was like, I mean, I
Triggered.
understand. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like mad, but it just really kind of made me feel just like a certain way. Like I just felt uncomfortable.
It eats
And
at
it,
you, man.
yeah, it did. Right. And so, but the best part though is that that was told to me on Friday, right? Or maybe it was Thursday. It told me on Thursday. Well, Friday is when I texted you asking you for that horoscope or for my, not for the horoscope, but for my date of birth and time of birth. Well, on that like readout, it says has a tendency to change his like um a bit, not change his personality, but like no, it said reinvent himself multiple times is what it said on this thing, and I was like, damn it, like maybe maybe I do have an addictive personality because it's literally saying that. I mean, obviously, a lot of those things sometimes too. It's one of those deals like what is it called? Like not placebo effect, but it's where like you read it and you kind of almost like mold like yourself to
It's like it's confirmation bias.
yeah, confirmation bias, right? So I'm not saying either one, but it was just very kind of it did seem very like me if I just try to look at it analytically. Um, but yeah, man, it, that's funny you mentioned that. I forgot that I texted you about that.
Yeah,
Um,
got. It was like, oof. Well, it's one of those things where basically what you're saying is that this profile thing diagnosed you with ADHD. Like you're just like you get hyper focused on a thing and it becomes your personality for extended period of time, and then
see, okay, that's what I want to talk about though, because that was like one of the things that I wanted to discuss today on this pod because I don't feel like I am or have an addictive personality. Um, it also depends on how you phrase it or how you position it, right? You could say I have it, like if you're looking from that perspective, you could say that I have an addictive personality. But from my perspective, I see it as somebody who, and this is how I operate. Like if I have a certain level of bandwidth, and if I don't like it, I'm really quick to just cut it off, right? I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and I'm just very, people sometimes say that I'm like a robot, whether that's, I mean, I don't think that's ever a good thing. Someone says you're
yeah,
like a
yeah,
robot.
I thought you were about to say, well, that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's definitely always
I
used
have
like in
I have
an
a really hard time with captchas. I have to have my wife do
uh
my captchas. Which one of these is a
uh
bus? Find the buses, Marcus. Find the buses.
yeah, so but that's what people say, right? And maybe and again, I think it comes down to the fact that I'm just very like harsh sometimes and very not cold, but just really just direct and deliberate about what I want to do and what I don't want to do, right? And I think it's the same thing when it comes to my hobbies. I mean, I will admit there have been times where I go through phases where I do things, but I think that's anybody in life. Like it's
I
called
don't.
phases of life.
So I think so. You're not gonna love my answer because my answer is based on something that I had done for myself in the last year.
Okay.
So I think an aspect of that with that portion of your personality is autism. Like
Okay.
because I mean, obviously we have like I think it's undeniable that autism runs in our family. Like obviously a lot of it's undiagnosed, but
Hmm.
like me getting my diagnosis and like there's just like everything you're talking about is like very much like you just have the things that you like and you have no interest in anything else outside of that. Like you just have your stuff and you
Yeah.
just like you have
But
your like but like they call in the autistic community they have that your special interest, Marcus.
okay,
And
but the point that I would make though is like is it could be as simple as like I don't know, man. I think it's like tomato tomato because in my opinion, the way that I see it is like I I'm gonna think of how to combat that because I just had it, I just lost it. But I guess it's like if you know what you like I just call it being efficient, right? I mean, I can go. That's what it is. It's efficiency is what it is.
but Marcus, you
And
don't like that's what I'm trying to explain to you,
no,
man.
but
It's
you're
like
telling me because I picked Chipotle over going to like a restaurant that
yes,
like I might.
I'm
No, no,
telling
no,
you
no,
that
no.
I'm telling you as your brother who is very much the same way, man. Like that your brain has the ability to rationalize that. And it's not a bad thing. Like I personally am the same
No,
way.
I'm not
I'm
saying it's a bad thing. But the point I'm trying to make is I again though that's what I'm trying to say though. You if I think life, not life. I'm saying you could go in like looking for that to be the answer, and you can like shape that answer to fit what you're
oh yeah, I
like.
see
I'm
what you're
saying
saying.
like
Yes.
you're taking like a diagnosis and trying to fit like your life behavior around it. The point that I'm trying to make, and maybe I'm doing it to I don't know. I think was I can't argue against that. This is how my mind operates. But I'm saying like a rational like person detached from it would be like, okay, well he likes Chipotle. Like why does he? I mean, Chipotle is fast. It's convenient. It's always good. You get rewards. Like
I understand you, and I'm not arguing with you. Like I think
oh, and I think that I have like one of the most range when it comes to music taste. Like I listen to country. I listen to emo, rap.
always
Reggaeton. Like I'm like all I run the gamut when it comes to music. So like sue me if I all I want to listen to is Morgan Wallen. But like that's just what I like.
I'm arguing. Okay, so okay, I agree with you. All those things make perfectly rational sense to me. But you're also talking to your brother who is diagnosed autistic who ate frozen pizza every day for a month. Only frozen pizza.
Right.
And obviously the rational mind could be like, "Oh, it's cheap, it's efficient, it's," but that is not like a neurotypical thing to do. Like if someone's like, "I would love to have frozen pizza for 30 days." And I enjoyed it. It wasn't like a, "Oh man, frozen pizza again." I'm like, "Yeah, frozen pizza, let's do this." I was like I was not complaining about it. It
See,
was there.
I
It
don't
was
know.
very much
I'm not gonna
but
believe that. I guess I won't believe
it's
that.
a chi-
So
it's a chicken and it's a chicken and the egg situation though, right? Like is that just who I am? Or I mean, I feel like if you like you said, it kind of comes back to the same thing as the astrology stuff. Is if you see aspects in yourself and you're told that it's this because of that, like it's easy to attribute certain elements of your personality to a thing, right?
hmm
But obviously, I don't think it's like I think that is a trap that people fall into is like there are people who novelize it and like they make it seem like, oh, I'm this way only because I have my thing. I just like frozen pizza. Like it's not
yeah,
like it's not like there's it's nothing deeper than that, you know? Like
right.
but there's just elements of stuff where like I feel like that ability to cuz like I think the reason people might say that you're robotic in some instances is that it's very like tonally, like you're very tonally even when you're
Mm,
like delivering stuff. So
yeah.
the thing is like, would you say
Although
that
my
I'm
wife and daughter would, Quinn and Logan, they would disagree. They say I have like a voice. Like I don't feel like my voice ever changes. And like there are
I
times where
don't
like they're like you're like raising your voice, and I feel like I'm talking the exact same way. So I don't know. But again, I'm not sure. Like for me, like the last thing I want to do is just be like just delusional, right? I mean, to me, that is like one of my like biggest fears is that I think that I'm a certain way, and I'm not really that way, right? Does that make sense? Like I that's
yeah,
one of my
yeah.
biggest fears is like I just walk around thinking that it's this way when realistically it's not. And I'm just like, oblivious to what's going on or how I sound or what I'm doing or what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Um,
that's a hyper awareness. I don't like I have that same thing. I'm the same way, buddy. Like if I feel that the way that I perceive a thing is not the way that it actually is, like whether that's the way I interact with someone or the way that like they're interacting with me, like if I feel like someone is like not being very like friendly to me, like I almost need like confirmation from someone else that I am not completely misinterpreting how
yeah,
this is happening because I'm like, am I just like completely like misunderstanding how this iteration did that went poorly, correct? Because that seemed like it did not go well.
yeah,
Like,
right.
but I'm the
No,
same way. Like, would you consider me to be robotic in a that sense?
no, I don't think so. I think for you, like you're a little more empathetic than I am, like by nature. Like I'm a sympathetic person, but I just feel like I'm a lot more like I don't know. Like I think that's the thing that for me is like I see everything as like I think why I gravitated to graduating like with in economics, right? Because like for me, like I see everything is a system of agendas. Like, and maybe that's like the wrong way to see life, but to me, that's how I see. Like, I see everything as a free market. I see everything. Everyone has their agenda, and that's basically what life is just competing agendas, essentially. Um,
Well, I mean, I think that's I feel the exact same way. I feel like it's all competing agendas and it's all a sales pitch from one person or another. Like it's all some one person trying to convince somebody else of
mhm,
like their agenda. Like it is all one person trying to tell the other person that their agenda is the correct agenda, right?
right.
But
But no, I
I
wouldn't say that you're the same way, though. I say I think that you're a lot. I mean, I think you do have tendencies that would say that you're, again, like you have
but I don't think
systems that you stick to. But I think the robotic stuff is well, actually maybe you are. I take that back. Maybe I just say that you're better at like being sympathetic, but maybe it's because like you've dealt with more like of like that emotional like some of that stuff that you've dealt with. Maybe you're a little more compassionate to it because you've had that experience yourself. And
well
again,
that
I know that I typically have not been. Not that I haven't wanted to be, but because I haven't experienced, I haven't known. Like I have a bad rep of not knowing what to say, and it's not because there's not like a place. Not that I don't want to be helpful. I just feel like I just never know what to say. But I feel like you're better at that than I am.
well the difference between you and me is I'm gonna say the wrong thing for sure. like like Corey Howard is not afraid to say the wrong thing when he's supposed to say nothing. Like
Mm.
I will overtalk myself to death. I will
Oh,
say like I do not have the ability. I mean, I try my best, and I try to be very conscious to be like, okay, pause, take a second, let this person like express themselves without like giving my input or giving like my. Well, my thing is, I was thinking about like I don't really think I feel emotions as much as I think emotions.
mm.
Like I don't really because the other day we are like I was watching something really sad. I mean, mom's a crier. Mom is an emotional person. Like mom gets emotional. And I'm just like, why are you crying? Like this is not like a like my brain doesn't process. I mean, I wasn't being like a jerk about it, but I was like, I don't get how this is
Yeah,
like like the information is not telling me this is a sad moment. So I don't understand how like I'm not thinking like I don't really the only thing that ever makes me tear up is like wholesome.
Coco.
But like that's wholesome. Coco will make you cry. Or like
Yeah.
just like or like my nieces and stuff. Like
Right.
like my nieces and my nephews, like seeing pictures of them as being little and then seeing them as they're getting older. But that's just like,
Mm.
oh, that is the only thing that would make me tear up.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, it just got kind of got under my skin because I guess like for me, the last thing I want people to just assume is like that I'm like, I think too is like when you say someone has an addictive personality, I think it kind of devalues like whatever that person's into, right? Like saying that I have an addictive personality, it almost discounts everything that I like, in my opinion. That's only maybe that's not their intent, but that's how I took it. It's like
Well, that's fair.
you only like this, because you I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, I believe me, I know that. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I just
I mean, no, that's one of those things, right? I highly doubt the person was intending on saying like. I definitely don't think it was meant to be like a slight, but I think you can have a addictive personality in a positive way. Like the robotic one, I feel like that's one that kind of comes off like there's no upside to that one. But like you
yeah.
have an addictive personality, I would argue that most truly successful like people have an addictive personality. Like whether that is to a certain thing that they do. Like
Hmm.
people say addictive, I say hyperfixation.
Yeah.
And like because I would never say that I was addicted to food. Like
Hmm.
obviously like I was very overweight and I ate food constantly. I would never say that I was addicted to food in the sense that I think actually the issue stems with like what the term addiction means to like different people, right?
Hmm.
It's like if when you think addiction, you're like, oh man, I have no ability to stop doing this. Like it's a thing that I have to do in order to survive, like kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
But addiction is like I think for me, it's like I need stimulus. Like I need like stimulation. Like and
Hmm.
just seeking that stimulation and keeping my brain engaged and active. So wait, so the compatibleness, like how did you so you're a Scorpio?
Yeah. Scorpio.
What's your
But
moon? Did you find out what your moon is, Marcus?
no, dude.
Because that is your sun sign. You need to like your moon is like like, I think I'm technically a double Libra. So apparently that's a very bad thing.
Okay, I'm gonna change it up. Something a little more lighthearted because like I said, I just thought that was interesting. It was something that was brought up, and I've been wanting to get that off my chest because, like I said, I don't think it was malicious, but I just needed to talk to somebody about it.
So
But
what
so
you're
this
telling me is
week,
you the idea of being an addict, you were addicted to the idea of being an addict is what you're saying, Marcus.
I was addicted to the idea. Yeah, I guess I was hyper fixated
Yeah, I
about
was
somebody
like
saying that I had an addictive personality.
so
But
guys,
no, so
let's not use the phrasing hyper addict. Let's not use addictive personality. We'll say you have a tendency to hyperfixate. That's a lot
there
nicer
you
to
go,
people, okay?
for sure. So the one thing I will say, so this past week, I decided that I am going to give this Blippi thing a go, right?
Yes.
Which like this goes back like a few Halloweens where I did it because Ben was like heavy into Blippi. I mean, he still is, but it was like all we watched at that time. And I was like, I'm gonna be Blippi. And people have always told me that I give off Blippi vibes. And I never knew what that actually meant until I watched the show. And I can understand, like he's like a fun guy. He's very animated. He talks really fast. And he's like, Anyways, so I totally understood. So I did it that one year, and the reception that I got trick or treating from kids. And okay, I want to preface this like it's hard to
Dude,
be like talk.
it was the best. Like I will say it for you. Actually, let me interject and say it for you so you don't sound like like you don't sound over yourself. It
Okay,
was it was the most like it was the experience that I have most adjacent to being like related or like in like the crew of a celebrity. Like I genuinely felt like I was escorting around like Mickey Mouse at Disney World. Like you felt like a cast member accompanying like because these kids genuinely thought you were Blippy. Like it wasn't
yeah,
like, oh, that guy's dressed as Blippy. You like if you would have been offering like autographs or like like these kids would have been like losing their mind. Like you
right,
had kids wanting to take pictures with you and like it's Blippy. Like we had family friends in from Mexico and their son is he's a little bit younger than Ben and he was like calling you Blippy the whole weekend. Like
Yeah.
he's like, is Blippy coming over again? Is Blippy coming over again? Like it
Yeah.
was the best. It was awesome.
Yeah, was not expecting that. But I will tell you that experience, man, like if I could go back and redo college, like I would want to be do the Disney cast college program and try to be friends with a character because like to me, like it was just awesome, man. Anyways, so did it last year again, same kind of response because so I've been considering this, and I'll be honest, we were talking to one of my neighbors, and they were telling me the magician that they hired for a birthday party recently, and what that magician was able to make over the course of the summer.
How
And
much
I
he
was like,
fleeced them for? How much he got? How much he stored them for?
man, I got to give this a go. So I ordered the costume. So I'm excited to do that, hoping to make some content to where we can promote it like within the community, and then see where that goes. But the reason why I brought it up,
I support it so hard. Like the second it came up, I was like, yes, here we go. Like you followed the podcast like Instagram, and I was like, please let me be what this is. Let this be what I think it is, please. And I was
right?
like, yes, I cannot wait. All right, what were you
Yeah.
saying, buddy? Sorry.
So where I'm going with this is like for me to bring it around because I feel like we've kind of had like a kind of mellow kind of mood. So I tell my daughter tells her friends at school, like a few friends at school that her dad's gonna be Blippi and like do like birthday parties, right? And my daughter's in the third grade, and so like obviously you can imagine what a third grader might have to say about like. Anyways, so she tells like two friends, and her friends tell her, "Oh wow, that's more embarrassing than my uncle's job at the mall." That's what they tell her, and I'm like, "Oh man." Well, come to find out, like
Sheesh.
his or her uncle is friends with Santa Claus, and so
Take that. No
anyways,
gifts for you, kid.
anyways, um, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely going to be something I think that like will be a challenge because like you really have to like get into character, which I think like having my Instagram has given me a lot of confidence. Not that I ever lacked in confidence, like really like to the point where I was like not afraid to like I was afraid to talk, but I just feel like it's given me like validation in the sense that I think that I can go and do this because to do that it's like you have to go to these parties, you got all these adults looking at you, like being like why is this dude like doing this, and then also like you got the concerns about people that we are friends with. They're like, man, they must be really hurting for money because this guy's like being blibby like I don't know, that's stupid to worry about, but like
No,
these are the things that
it's
you have to
rational
block out.
though. It's what you're thinking about. But dude, I will say this, man. Like if you go to a party, so I went to just to feed back to the whole me going above and beyond. I had a student invite me to his birthday party, and I was like, yeah, of course I'll be there, buddy. So I went there, and they had a magician, and like it was cute. The magician was fine. The kid had a blast. The kids had fun. It was one of those things where like I was standing there thinking like I was like, this guy has like he has nerves that I could not even like imagine. Like to get up
Yeah.
there and like do that. But also like if anybody would have not been like either a good sport or like you would have to be such a petty, sad human being to be over there being like to look down on someone for like doing something that brings joy to people, like how sad do you have to be? Like realistically, like that's the mindset you have to have. If
Oh
someone is like
yeah.
standing, like while you're over here like making kids happy, because I guarantee you, if you show up as Blippi, these kids are gonna lose their mind. So these kids
Right.
are gonna objectively be having fun. Like if some adult back there is like, this dude's not even a real man, like that guy is sad, pathetic, and needs to find some hobbies to hyperfixate on.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. No, that's kind of how. I mean, I'm in sales, and so like there's a lot of times where the sales job. I mean, I've gotten kicked out of so many business parks, and you almost have to like compartmentalize. Like, hey, look, like I'm
It's
doing
a
a
character
job.
almost.
This is a living. Like you may, whatever you think, whatever opinion you have, like this is like paying the bills for me. At the end of the day, that's all that really matters to me. Is like if I can do Blippi and we can go to Disney more, or we can, I don't know. Like I said,
This is
I will
still a
be.
Disney podcast.
Yes, it's still a Disney podcast. But dude, I was saying like, man, like, if I could just get past that point, like get past that, get in that right headspace. Like I'm not just doing it for the money. Obviously, there's a lot of other things too. But think about that magician, man. He has done that. He has done that routine so much that he could do it like just
No,
like
he can't.
in
Not
a
this
sling.
magician. Not this
No, no,
magician.
I'm talking about the one that I'm referencing. I've seen the guy that I'm
Oh,
talking about. Like
oh.
he is just guy. Like it's just like I don't know. And to me, like I've never had a job where it's been like the more you work, the more you make, right? And so the idea of like finding like kind of like a niche, assuming that it's successful to where like you can just work, I don't know. I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes. But
I think it's
anyways,
gonna
yeah.
go really well, buddy. Does Blippi have like a grown adult male like sidekick that you could use in any way? Like
Mm.
I
Well,
know
he's
there's
got Mika.
Rachel.
No, he has Mika now, but Mika is a woman, so no, you can't do that.
I
No.
can do the wig thing. I can do the wig, how you do the wig for the for the skits. I'm sure that would get a little bit more mixed reaction.
Yeah, so we're not doing that, man. I mean, the one thing about Blippi too is like, like no matter how, like me and Logan were talking about how we could promote it, and it's like it's hard, man. Like those guys, like they were doing something, but it's just like I think that's kind of a challenge, especially like with Blippi, because like it's obviously his face, it's a face character, right? If you say like, but having like kids come up to you, like it's just it's a shame. I mean, I get why it's the way that it is, but like it's hard to talk about promoting Blippi and then having like kids come up to you. It's like I don't know. That's the challenge. That it's kind of it sucks that it's that way. I mean, I understand why it is, but it is kind of unfortunate that like
Well, it's
like there are bad
understandable.
actors that make a situation that's very genuine and friendly and like and turns it to where like it's looked as like weird, right? And it's a shame because like I don't know.
I mean, I get it, dude. I worked at a school as a single, non-married, no kids man. Like you feel like every single thing you do could be like you're like even though like just like that even crosses your mind, or even as an uncle, I'm like, could this in some way be interpreted like in an inappropriate way? And it is such a like it's such like an awful thought to cross your mind
Mm,
because it's almost like I don't know, it's almost like guilty by association in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it crosses like the idea of someone misinterpreting it as that feels like, wait, did I just do like it just feels so awful. And it's such like it's such like a horrible feeling to have that to even because I mean it's like what we were talking about earlier. Like we're so worried about somebody the way that somebody perceives a thing, right?
yeah,
And that maybe we're not perceiving it the same way that other people are perceiving it.
yeah,
Like I'm
right,
not perceiving this as a certain thing. Am I being delusional that should I be perceiving this as like weird?
right.
Like, because I'm sure there were some people who were like, well, why is this guy going to these like students like sporting events? Which like I did it because like it made my students happy. Like
Hmm.
they were excited. And it's one of those things where like, I think when you start doing it, I think the joy you will be bringing those children will become a bigger aspect of it than you will anticipate right now. Like,
Oh no, you're wrong. It's not all about money. I mean, obviously,
no,
like I said,
I know, but
I
I know.
enjoyed, but I mean, like that is a big part of it, right? If you're like putting on a costume, leaving your family, and like dealing with like the mental load and like the just like kind of the like that like that's a big percent. That's a big factor for it. So, anyways, regardless, I'm excited. I got my Nikes because Blippi, like, dude, Blippi's shoes are just like,
Those
dude,
Force Ones, right? Are they forces?
yeah, they're Air Force Ones. Yeah, well, they're like they call them like dunk. They're not necessarily Air Force Ones. They call dunks. They're like the low top
Big
dunks.
stomping in my Air Force Ones, Blippy over here.
Well, dude, I almost like got online and ordered like the Nike IDs just so I can get them a little more like close, but it would have cost me more and it would have like taken longer. So I went ahead and just got like off the shelf like blue and orange Nikes, and so I'm excited, man.
You should have gone into like Foot Locker and been like, I want the Blippy shoe, please. I want the Blippies in a size 11 men's, please.
Yeah, well, hey, if it works out, I'm gonna get it. I'll get another pair of shoes. But yeah,
Well,
man, I'm
it's one of
excited.
I'm super excited for you, but I think it's going to go really well. And I think it's one of those things where it'll be financially rewarding. It'll be like, I honestly think it'll be rewarding to the soul in a sense. Like, that was the thing with my job is that, like, you're getting paid for a thing that brings you joy, but also, like, it has to be equivalent, right? Like, the
Hmm.
amount of, like, mental effort you're putting into a thing.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, and also, I think the way that you have to kind of approach those situations is Blippy as a character, and you almost have to, like, super compartmentalize, disassociate, like get in, like almost have to be like full blown like method
Yeah, man.
actor about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Heath Ledger, but
Yeah, rip. But I'm excited for you, buddy. I think it's gonna go super well. I think it's gonna be
yeah,
really good.
let's hope so, man. Because
I
I spent like some good money on the costume, so I at least gotta do at least one party to cover the cost of those freaking shoes, man.
I gotta recoup my costs. Hey
Yeah,
man, if it goes well, I'll make sure I share it with all the parents from my school. I'm
uh,
sure they'll.
yeah.
I mean, between the two elementary schools, like, and then once I start subbing again, I'll bring business cards up to the front office and just
No,
like have
dude,
like
you can't do that, man.
promotional blipping material.
Yeah, you can't do that. You were worried before. If you're like slinging blippy stuff, that's just gonna look weird. So, but what do you have to say, man? I've been talking. It's been me. I've been like driving this conversation. You got to pull your weight too, bro.
Okay, first off, it's rude of you to mention weight to me, Marcus. As a
Okay,
former food addict, that's really rough for you to say. But I will
sorry, man.
say, I finally remember what mine was.
Okay.
The worst part of this year is finally over. I hate the summer. Like it kind of all ties back to like why I feel like a portion of my mental health was so bad. Like there is nothing enjoyable from the end of May, middle of May to the start of all the sports seasons.
Mm,
Like sports are back.
yeah,
Aggie
for sure.
football starts. Liverpool Football Club is playing now. Like
I get that. I get that. I mean, I like summer more now than I did because
your
obviously with Quinn
kids.
being in
Yeah.
school. But I will
Yeah.
say though, like going back to school, as hard as it is to like see her, like it's kind of sad, man, that your kids like almost at school like longer, like they're with school than they are longer than they are with you, which is like a tough thing to like conceptualize. But where I'm going with that though is like as much as I enjoy summer and getting to see all my kids and getting to spend time with them, like I do enjoy like everyone having a schedule. Like because like as a working like me and Logan obviously still work, so we still have to maintain schedules. And honestly, I don't understand how parents do it. Like we're fortunate Logan can work from home, and like obviously we have my mother-in-law who's willing to help. But I don't know how parents do it, man. Like to have like a full-time job where you have to leave the house like 8 months of the year or 9 months of the year and then have to figure out like a place for your kid, like that is like that's challenging, man. Like I feel for all the parents that have to do that because I don't know how they do it. I mean, for us, like I said, we're fortunate, but like now
They
that my
get
daughter's back,
extorted they get extorted by daycares. Like
mm,
they get absolutely hang over the fire for the summer. Like I have like one of the families that I met through all that stuff. They have two sons and both parents work full-time jobs. Over the summer, their kids go into basically summer camps, like summer camp at daycares for like the two
right,
months of summer, and it is exorbitant. Like it is exploitatively priced for like, oh,
right,
what's that? Like, yeah, you need summer care? Okay, cool. I hope you can afford. It's like it's Jimmy. Like I think it was like one of them was like I think it's like 2,400 a month.
dang, that's pretty expensive. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So,
substantial, man.
but no, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, summer's fun, man. I mean, but I get it though. I mean, the fall for the one thing about the fall is the fall just flies, man.
Fall's peak. Paul's
It
Paul.
is peak, but it goes by so fast.
That's
Like it
because it's
really,
not miserable. It's because it's not awful. That's why it goes
yeah.
by fast. It
Time
goes by
flies when you're
fast
having
because you're
fun, right?
enjoying it. Yeah, exactly. You're enjoying fall, so it moves quickly. All the other stretches of the season have like they're dull.
Mm.
Like this is my birthday, your birthday. This year, Disney. So
Oh
my
yeah,
birthday,
man.
your birthday, Disney, um,
Yeah, it's gonna be
Aggie
a good time.
football, Liverpool football. Um, hey man, Christmas, all the good stuff, dude.
Yeah, Chris, can't forget Christmas. Yeah, no, man, I'm with you. I mean, I think I'm ready. I mean, obviously, we still got a few more weeks of summer though, in terms of temperature. I doubt that we'll.
Months.
I feel like we have yet. I feel like we used to like look for. I feel like fall just is not what it used to be though, from a weather standpoint, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to like yeah, like the sports being back. But yeah, man, the weather just isn't what it used to be. But
Yeah,
no, man.
I used to have the youthful delusion of being like, I want a nice crisp day for my birthday. My birthday is
Yeah.
October 15th. we're still looking at the nice high mid humid 80s in mid October. So like
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. But
yeah,
I'm glad to have sports back, or the sports that I enjoy back. I'm glad to have the podcast back.
yeah.
The
Which
things are
name to be determined, right? We're still workshopping the name. Um, honestly
yeah.
we were thinking like we had a name, but like you know what, like probably better that we like really focus and make sure that we have the right one because we don't want to rebrand ourselves. I know that I was like given like the statistics on like how many podcasts make it to like the second podcast and how many podcasts make it to the third episode, but I don't know the statistic of how many podcasts rebrand within the fifth episode. Uh,
I feel like that aspect of it might be more. It would surprise you how many pivot, and
yeah,
they might not have pigeonholed themselves extremely hard with their original name to the point that like it's a full rebranding, but like the actual content in the episodes was a rebrand. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I would agree. I mean, at least we don't have to worry
We
about like Disney coming after us now, right?
Yeah, all of our merch will be all of our merch will be like, we will be the sole proprietors of this information. Like, yeah. Also, like, clearly you had not understood the name because you clearly don't remember it very well. It's like
Yeah.
you're on the podcast. You're like, yeah, OD.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. But yeah, I'm glad that we're doing this again. I mean, I think this was, obviously, I thought it was pretty. I think it was helpful for me, especially. I got some things off my chest. I think obviously it's one of those deals where getting back into the swing of thing in terms of just you know getting our podcast legs underneath us again.
Yeah, man. Like, even robots get anxiety when things get pushed further and further back, and you have to step. But honestly, that's how I am about stuff, man. Like, you know me. Like, the further something is from the last time I've done it, the more likely that I will never do it again. Like,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I'm just like whatever. Like, I don't need it in my life. Like, I am like a perpetual like quitter, man. Because like
Mm.
by the time that like I either something like triggers me to like be extremely stressed out or extremely like emotional. Like, that's like the only time I get emotional is like when I am extremely like I don't know, I guess stimulated to the point where I just get like I feel like the only emotion I actually feel is stress. Is stress an emotion or is that a feeling? Let's
Uh,
refer to Inside Out 2. Was stress an emotion or anxiety was an emotion?
yes. Yeah. Anxiety was definitely emotion. Um.
So stress is a byproduct of anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, you're the expert. I refer to you on that. Not saying like you're the. I, I'm.
You're the damaged one, bro. I know
I'm
what you
here.
meant. I know what
Uh,
you meant, but like you correcting yourself that I might not understand what you meant makes me feel upset. All right. So, since this is a little bit different from the Disney podcast we were previously hosting under the same banner right now, well, TBD, um, we're going to end this with maybe something that we were thankful for this week. Maybe it's something, a person, or something that happened. Maybe it's something we're looking forward to that we're grateful for next week. I feel like this is something that I don't do personally enough is be grateful. That makes me sound like super unappreciative, but like vocalizing gratefulness is an important thing, you know? Like
right.
while it's important to vocalize the things that you're dealing with that are like not negative but like struggles and like hardships, it's also important to be like I am thankful that I have a home, or like I am thankful that I have a family that sometimes loves me and cares about how I feel. But no, so I'll go first if that's okay.
Yeah, take it, man. Since you
All
just
right.
sprung this on me.
I'm so sorry. Honestly, it was kind of a spur of the moment. Like I had no intention. I really hadn't thought about this. I really flying by the seat of our pants, baby.
Yeah, literally.
But so I would say this week gratefulness. So our Uncle David came to visit our mom this week, and was sharing some stories about a mutual family member who's dealing with Alzheimer's and the struggles that they've had taking care of her, and just some of the realities of that. And basically, he was talking to me about, because I've been mom's caregiver for almost actually, that's almost 10 years now. I've been mom's caregiver since her spine collapsed. And it's one of those things where obviously there's challenging aspects of that, but I am extremely grateful that mom has maintained a very positive, like, headspace, like, mindset, like, personality. Because we're like, I am not a like, I am so not prone to being bitter, but, like, to, like, kinda getting, like, down. But
Hmm.
mom does not have that. Like, mom does not have that personality trait to, like, be, like, upset or frustrated or, like, dwell on, like, negativity. And just
Yeah.
that she has been and that she has maintained her mental faculties and that she has maintained I'm just thankful for our mother. I'm thankful for who she is and for her mental health.
Yeah, no, man, that's well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even gonna give one, man, because that one's just like I think that's a great answer. I mean, I think about that too. I mean, because I try to be positive in my day to day, and it's but I mean, for anybody, if there's anybody that I know or I've known in my life who could like be the most negative person and everyone feel like she's justified in being that way, it's mom. you know,
Yeah.
and so like I mean, and I'm not trying to be rude. I mean that wholeheartedly. It's just like I mean she's had
It's
a
true.
rough go, right? And so yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm with you, man. That's the same as me. I mean, obviously, I wasn't planning on. I mean, I could talk about other things that I'm grateful for, but to me, like, I think that's a good answer. So I'm gonna just say ditto because I am grateful for mom.
Nice
I
cop
mean,
out, loser.
no, because I will say, like, it's for someone like that, for mom, like, there's like, it would be easy for mom to like, I don't know, man.
That's
Yeah,
what I think you said it correctly. Mom has every right to be bitter. Like, if it's one of those things like it almost stinks that mom has such a good like mental health and like positive mindset in the sense that like it's so hard to come to mom with like an issue. Like it's so hard to come to mom with like, man, this is the worst.
yeah,
While
right,
she's laying there like in bed, like bedridden, and she's like, yeah, that is like literally the worst thing I've ever heard. Like that sounds miserable. And you're like, you
right.
know what? Like I'm suddenly realizing that it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where just I'm grateful for a lot of things, and I'm looking forward to this new chapter of the podcast where we just kind of have more like not because it's not like the other conversations were disingenuous or like or fake. It's one of those things where these are just more like relevant to just us. So people could listen to this and be like, "That sucked." Like we don't care about y'all.
Yeah,
Which, hey guys,
we're-
that's fine. Like if that's the feedback we receive, then we'll adjust and have more specific conversations about non like internal like dialogue based conversations. But honestly, like if you and I are the only person who ever listened to this, like it is good for my mental health to get to talk to you. And I hope that everybody has someone out there that they can talk to that makes them feel less alone. Like, even if it's not talking about what's actually, like, bothering you, like, just talking to someone that you know that they're there. Like,
yeah,
there's just a power in knowing that even if you don't discuss, like, X or Y, why you're not having a great time, why life is rough, there's a power in just knowing that there are people who are going through similar things or just going through life. Like, it's beneficial to have people who care about you and are willing to talk to you about stupid stuff. Alright. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. I hope it was an enjoyable listen. We got a little bit melancholy at times, I guess, but it's also just real. Like that's kind of the whole point of this stuff is talking about what people feel, and there's no shame in feeling a certain way. Like, and I hope you have someone you can talk to if you're feeling down, and someone if you talk to if you're feeling up. Like it's good to have people in your life. Well, I hope you have a great day, everybody. From Corey and Marcus. See you guys.